So you're losing a lot in Clash Mini and you don't know why? Well, it could be because you're not using these 24 insane tips, such as baiting the enemy Wavemaster Super by putting a mini in the corner. That way you will protect your ranged carry mini because the Wavemaster will super to the mini in the corner instead. Place your Royal Champion in the far back so it has a higher chance to be the last unit alive, so it will activate the invincibility. The Valkyrie and the Wavemaster make a great combo. Just throw your Valkyrie to the enemy side using the Wavemaster Clash and she'll shred through the enemy backline. Go get it, girl. The Archer and the Barbarian King also make an amazing combo. The Archer benefits a lot from the Barbarian Super, especially with the 3rd star, and it can even evolve to an Expo. Here's a pretty reliable way of triggering the Countess Backstab. Place the tank in the front at one side and the Countess at the back in the other side. That way, the enemy will be facing the tank and away from the Countess. If you're using Monk, place your minis behind the Monk to protect from the Clash abilities, since the Monk has his Silence ability. There's also some super useful tips towards the end that's very important in winning games, but before I tell you that, if you use the miner in the Shell Town map, place the miner opposite of the tile so there can be melee minis on both sides of the enemy back line, so the enemy can't dodge it. That way, it won't just be a minor inconvenience. To counter Magic Archer, place your melee mini at one side and your ranged minis at the other. That way he can't get
value like you better believe
from the Pierce. When you're playing Healing Ranger, line up your minis so as many minis can get heals as possible, and the unstoppable effect too if you have the 3rd star. If you're having trouble against melee heroes, use Mini Pack Anticipate. If it locks onto the hero, especially if it's the Barbarian King, Shield Maiden or the Monk, it can store them for such a long time. If you're using the Witch, be very careful. The enemy might be benefiting from her with both abilities, for example the Dark Goblin's 2nd star and the Royal Champion. So using the Witch can literally be a curse sometimes. If you are facing stun troops such as the Wavemaster and the Ewis, use unstoppable abilities so they can be immune to stuns. For example, the Healing Ranger's 3rd star and the P.E.K.K.A.'s 2nd star. And subscribe to learn even more tips to improve your skill. A Fisherman in your deck can be very useful because it gives you a chance to win hard matchups. Because you can literally just pull the enemy's carry mini and the win is yours. Use the Wizard's 2nd star or the Valkyrie's 3rd star to counter Battle Healer or Healing Ranger for the anti-heal. That way they can't get a lot of value. Use Magic Archer's 3rd star or the Royal Ghost Invisible to counter the Archer, so the Archer will target the frontline minis instead. And if you want a place to test out these tips, play in tournaments, and you can also learn a lot from playing with pros there. I will leave a link to an upcoming tournament in the description. Feel free to sign up and maybe even win some cash prizes. The Saint Mirror can be a great counter to Monk. Just place your minis further back and let the Monk super it. It can also be a good counter to the Archer. Place it at the back and just drink a glass of wine as you enjoy the Archer's slow and inevitable death. But don't use it against healing decks because the minis can just be healed after attacking the Saint Mirror. If you see the King Tower, use it. Because if you don't, the enemies will just counter your other gizmo with the King Tower. Except if you also see the Hot Potter, because the King Tower can't kill it in time before the Potter spawns. So the King Tower is essentially useless against the Hot Potter. There's also a lot more ways to counter different gizmos, so get this video to 200 likes if you want to see a video on how to easily counter every gizmo. And if you use the Sauna, feel free to place your ranged carry mini at the front. Just let it be the first one to be killed and it can be revived with crazy carry potential. The Pancaker also works very well with the Miner, the Shell Tile or the Wavemaster Clash, because the mini at the back can sustain health from the Pancaker, so it can't die easily, so it can keep dealing damage without dying. And a very important part in getting wins is also utilizing special tiles the right way. And here's some tricks so you can get the most value possible with them.